Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, this Sunday, the 19th of January, unless Congress takes action, TikTok will be banned in the United States. There was a recent change in this where it used to be you just couldn't have it in the app stores. Google and Apple just couldn't have it listed for new people to download. It would appear that after the 19th, with recent changes made by ByteDance, TikTok will be inaccessible in the US after the 19th of January. Many people have claimed this TikTok ban is due to the way that it gathers data on its users and that this is being reported back to the Chinese government. Many of our officials will constantly bring up the Chinese Communist Party using your data. And so they wanted to ban TikTok over that. But much to their surprise, there is a new, even more Chinese app that is taking over people's phones as a retaliation for this TikTok ban. A Chinese developed app known in the United States as the Little Red Book or Little Red Note. It's a reference to Mao's book. The app itself is basically a TikTok clone or an Instagram clone. You know, you make short form videos, you post pictures, there's comment sections. The actual UI side of things, I would say, looks a lot like TikTok. It's very easy to grasp if you're used to that platform. And people in the United States are downloading that app by the hundreds of thousands right now. And some of the responses I've seen to it are kind of strange. One of the things I've seen that I find funny in kind of a sad way is how many people are surprised at the user base on this website being quote unquote normal. You know, they post pictures of their cats or their meals or their workout routines, fashion advice, makeup stuff. The kind of stuff that you probably posted on social media. You know, normal people stuff. Because the people who use these apps are just normal people. They're not government officials or anything like that. Or I'm sure some of them might work in government, but you know what I mean. This is just regular people uploading regular content. And I think if you needed an app to tell you that the citizenry of other countries act, look, and behave like you might be a little bit racist. I gotta be honest with you. I know that state propaganda and the way that our governments talk about other countries can affect the way you look at people, but if you really needed a whole app to tell you that Chinese people are people, maybe just do some re-examining in your life before you open another social media program today. Now, all this said, I do have some gripes about the app. Personally, I was not much of a TikTok user, so I don't feel the need to download this as a replacement. And I'm glad I don't, because this seems even more insecure than TikTok was. A Twitter user by the name of Dot Slash found this little interesting tidbit hidden in the code of this Red Notebook app that just lets them look through your stuff, just lets them go through all your data. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. Well, the US government already does this with our data. All the social media companies over here sell our stuff to all these different advertisers, and I'm already in the system, so why should I care? Okay, well, if you really don't care, give me your social security number and your health insurance information. You cannot care, but I do. This is coming from someone who has been arrested and is fully in the system in the United States. I don't give away my data for free. You're going to have to pay me. The other side of this, which I am not really surprised by, but I find very disturbing, is how incredibly susceptible some of you are to propaganda. There's one clip I see floating around where someone said that the police in China are not cops because in the video that's being used is this like training montage. It's some guys using those man catcher hook things to catch a criminal who's attacking them with a machete. But it's not even like it's an actual crime that happened. It's training footage by these police officers. You are falling for the cop propaganda. If you saw something like that in the United States, you would say that this was funded by the DOJ to like trick you into believing that cops are good people. But somehow, because it's China, that's okay. The other thing I saw was this sort of quick acceptance of Chinese state homophobia. Basically, the way they do it is kind of the way that our military used to do it. Don't ask, don't tell policy. Don't celebrate who you are as a person, just live your life kind of deal. And for those of you who might agree with that statement, I would just say I hope no one tries to stifle your life. I hope no one tells you the way that you live is inappropriate or unjust and that you have to diminish yourself in some way for societal acceptance. But maybe that should happen to you so you can understand why this is such a terrible thing for you to say and believe. But at the end of the day, with all that being said, I can't tell you what to download or what not to keep on your phone. That's your choice to make, and I just hope you make smart decisions. If you truly don't care about your personal information, you don't care whose hands it's in, whatever. download the silly video sharing app, and drink it all up. My biggest gripe with the TikTok ban is the loss of revenue for some of these creators. While there are a lot of people who would do anything for a bag and they'll sell out their family so they can pay rent, there's a couple people who use their platform for good and did end up pulling themselves out of poverty because of the creator ad revenue sharing program that TikTok offered. That forced the hand of a lot of these other companies like Meta and YouTube, Google, Alphabet, whatever they're called now, to start paying people out for their short form content. And I think that's a good thing. And while some people have taken advantage of that to pump out tons of slop content, there are people who use their platforms for good. And I am sorry about the loss of revenue that you're about to experience from this ban. There is still a few days before this gets finalized, so who knows what could happen. I'm not putting my chips in it being bought out. I saw something about Mr. Beast claiming he would buy it to keep it active in the United States, but I just wish billionaires would use their money to actually help people instead of just consolidating power with these social media companies. But until the 19th comes, until we see if this ban actually takes place, y'all try to have a good day.